In August 2026, when Mohamed Salah arrived in Istanbul, hundreds of fans swarmed the airport gates just to get a glimpse of him. For 9 years, he was the face of Liverpool. He scored 257 goals, hoisted the Premier League trophy twice, and won a Champions League title. But his destination wasn't Real Madrid or Bayern Munich. He was heading to Trabzonspor, a club widely considered to be only the fourth biggest team in Turkey. Sure, his output had recently slipped to 7 goals in 27 league matches, and he'd had a public disagreement with his former manager. But a global megastar choosing a club on the Black Sea coast over the usual European giants still stands out as a strange career move. Finding the logic in this move requires looking past the pitch, at the way national tax codes and corporate structures can turn a base salary into something far more lucrative. The modern sports economy really began in 1995 with the Bosman ruling. By abolishing strict quotas on foreign players, the ruling turned European football into a highly mobile global workforce. Once top athletes could freely cross borders to play anywhere, they stopped negotiating purely for top-line gross salary. They started optimizing for after-tax net income, the actual money they get to keep. This map highlights the top personal income tax brackets across Europe, and you can see the stark differences from country to country. A player earning 10 million euros in one nation might take home millions less than if they signed one border over. Because these rates vary so wildly, governments in high-tax nations often find themselves inventing legislative loopholes just to subsidize their domestic sports leagues and attract foreign talent. Historically, countries engineered specific tax relief. Italy offered a 50% exemption on taxable income, and in 2004, Spain implemented a non-resident tax regime that famously became known as the Beckham Law. This chart compares those Western European tax rates against the Turkish system. While players in Spain face a 54% top rate, and those in France face 55.4%, Turkey offers a highly competitive baseline rate of just 40.8%. Even with that baseline advantage, the financial maneuvering goes deeper. Before signing with Trabzonspor, Salah was actually negotiating with a larger Istanbul club, Beşiktaş. Those talks reportedly stalled over his specific demands regarding image rights. Here is a flowchart showing exactly how that image rights loophole works. Athletes split their compensation into 2 streams. A portion is classified as personal income and taxed at the high national rate. The rest is classified as commercial image rights, which allows them to pay a drastically lower corporate income tax rate instead. When you combine these separate income streams at the bottom line, it becomes clear that modern superstars no longer negotiate as individual athletes. They operate as complex multinational corporations, structuring every deal to maximize their retained earnings. But even with clever accounting, a club like Trabzonspor still needs massive initial capital to engage in these bidding wars in the first place. This data visualization illustrates a recent $218.4 million capital injection from BN Sports. They secured the domestic broadcast rights for the Turkish Süper Lig through the 2026-2027 season. That influx of broadcast cash serves as the baseline economic engine for the league, equipping Turkish clubs with the liquidity they need to structure these heavy net income packages. Take millions in fresh broadcast revenue and combine it with a favorable tax bracket, and you create a powerful financial magnet for aging athletes looking to optimize the final contracts of their playing careers. When Mohamed Salah put on that burgundy and blue Trabzonspor kit and addressed his new fans on social media, it was a textbook execution of modern sports economics. History shows that when a country tightens its tax laws, the talent leaves. When Lionel Messi departed Barcelona for Paris Saint-Germain, Spain lost a generational player, and they also lost one of the country's single largest individual taxpayers. As an elite player's physical prime begins to fade, securing the highest possible yield on their remaining time on the pitch becomes their ultimate priority. The winner of a transfer saga now depends as much on the national tax code as it does on the manager's vision or the club's history. While the fans at the airport were celebrating the arrival of a sporting savior, the move was actually the result of how Turkey chooses to tax a multinational athlete.